What's going on, guys? Welcome to the another edition of RPO College Football Podcast, your favorite college football podcast. My name is Jerome Jones, and I'm obviously here by the man, Mr. Legend. You know who he is, Mr. Ray Roberts. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, Jerome. How are you?
Doing great, man. Appreciate you getting on with us, guys. Before we get started, I just want to let you know that we are sponsored none other than Phenom. So make sure that you go and hit that promo code right up there, right above Ray. Type in ITH football on phenomelitebrand.com where you get 10% off of all your items. Drop that in there right now because that will really save you some money, man, and that will really supports us. So we really do appreciate that. If you love football, you want to get some nice gear, definitely go check that out. They got some great stuff as far as character theme equipment. You know, you get gloves and cleats of any type of color. You can't miss it, man. You want to look swaggy for your season? Definitely hit up phenomelitebrands.com and go get your 10% off using that promo code ITH football. All right, guys. Thank you so much for that. And Ray, how you doing, man?
I'm good, Jerome. Doing very well, actually.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, man. It's a hot little day in Georgia today. The sun was going down. I looked at my thermometer. It was still 90 degrees, and I was like, God damn. I was like, all right, gotta turn on the AC in my car because you know it's hot when you're doing a good. Don't tell nobody, but you're doing a good 80, 85 on the highway, and the air is still not cooling you down. You know that's hot. You know that's hot. He's like, all right, I got to crank that AC on. It's not working. So, but yeah, man. I'm excited to be here with you, Ray, today. And if you guys don't know, we are doing our college football rankings right now. So if you haven't seen the last podcast, we did quarterbacks and we did running backs. So you like quarterbacks, you like running backs. You want to know where you rank your favorite running backs and quarterbacks? Make sure you go check out the last episode. It was really good. We talked a lot about that. We talked a lot about some of the NFL. I'm sorry, not the NFL. The NCAA rules that's going on. So if you want to see that, see how we felt about all that with the NIL settlement, definitely go check that out. And we talked about all that right there. But today we're going to talk wide receivers and we're going to talk tight ends. Now, before we go into our list, Ray, I want you to kind of give us an insight of how this positions group's going this year. In a college aspect and also in the NFL prospect aspect.
I think that it's a pretty good class. It's not going to be as deep as last year's class. Mm-hmm. There's some good top end guys here, but again, I don't think you have the impact guys you had last year. I think that like the guys that went in the first couple rounds last year were really good. I think you have some guys. We also have some guys that still have to prove a little bit in the tops right now. So,
no, 100%. And what's your thoughts on the tight ends?
Actually, a little better than last year's class, maybe as far as depth, but I don't know if there's anyone as good as the Georgia tight end was last year. So,
Yeah, I don't think there's a Brock Bowers, but you could get a guy in the second, third round that would be really good. And obviously we got a full season, so we got to see where that kind of manifests itself. But I was writing down some of these tight ends and I'm just like, I don't know how to rank these guys because there's a lot of good ones out there.
There are. I think that what you're seeing is there's not a Brock Bowers, but there's like the same, very comparable to the class after Bowers. Like the next group of guys are like a lot of these guys. And again, I like the talent. I just don't know. There's guys that I think again have to prove it. Even my number one guy who I like a lot, I think I need him to have another good year. Then I could kind of have a better feel for him.
100%. Well, let's not let the people wait anymore. Let's get right into it. Top 5 wide receivers of college football going into 2024. We're gonna start off with number 5, Ray. Before we start, I know Ray probably got a 5.
I don't.
5 not 5J, 5L, 5M.
Don't have a 5A and 5B for either one of these positions. It's not
like you.
I do think that there are some people there are some guys that I think that are like a little bit above the other guys, but again, I don't see where they're that close after the first 4 or 5 guys. So
Definitely. All right, let's get to it. Number 5, right? Who you got?
I have Xavier Repito from Miami.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
What does he like about him?
I like he's a slot kid who was really productive last year. Caught almost 90 balls for almost 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns, and I do think he's a guy who can improve on that. I think he's one of the guys. Like I said, I again, very nice season last year. I would like to see him do that and duplicate that again this year to make me feel about how good about where I would take him in the draft. So,
Right. Yeah, I like him. I don't have him in my top 5, but I do like him as a player. My number 5 guy might surprise some people. I think my 5 guys are guys that could definitely be interchangeable at any point of the season. Somebody might go ahead of somebody. I actually left out a player, and I'll talk about him in a second. But I'm gonna go with Tatum McMillan. I think that's how you say it. Tutorium McMillan. He is the wide receiver from Arizona. Tavario? However you say it, Ray.
Terry McMillan.
Yes, there you go. Terry McMillan from Arizona. Played really well, especially considering Arizona wasn't that good last year. Was really dominant and a good receiver right there. I want to see a little bit more out of him this year. But I got him in my top 5, so I'm not, I don't want anybody to get upset. I have him low. He's in my top 5, and there's a lot of, we said, there's a lot of receivers here. I think my entire top 5 list can be interchangeable. And it's early in the season. It's not even early in the season. It's not even the season. It's before the season, preseason. So it's a lot of projections. We're gonna see how it goes once the season starts. But we go from there. So I'm gonna save him for later because I feel like you have him a little bit higher, Ray. But I'm gonna let you go number 4.
Okay, number 4, I have Tez Johnson from Oregon. Another slot kid. Again, caught 86 balls, almost 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns. Been productive for two seasons now. I'm a big fan. I think, of course, Oregon does throw a lot of quick stuff like to their slots or out to their receivers, but he's very productive. He's got solid size, not great. That's why at 5'10", I'd rather keep him in the slot if I can.
100%. No, I agree with you. I like that, Ray. Good play right there. I actually don't have him in my top 10. I'm sorry, top 5. But okay. I think our list is about to be really different. But I got a guy that I'm going more on potential right here at number 4. He was behind 2 really good receivers. Obviously, they went into the draft this year, so he was able to play very sparingly. But from what I see on him, I have a lot of potential in him. I want to see how the quarterback position does as well. But this kid is electric with the ball in his hand. He played some kick return last year. He only had 320 yards with 2 touchdowns last year. But Zachariah Branch from USC. Now I'm putting him in here because I've been watching some spring game stuff that he's been doing. I like what he like his spark from last year. And again, he didn't have a lot of stats because they were stacked in the offense last year. Obviously, you had what is his name? Brendan Rice. You had Brendan Rice. You had the other kid over there that got drafted as well. So I think it's gonna be Zachariah. I also like Taj as well. Taj Washington, I believe his last name is.
Yeah, plays for Miami.
So yes. So he transferred to Miami.
He was drafted by the Dolphins. Yeah. No, he was drafted by Miami Dolphins.
Drafted. That's right. Okay.
He was drafted by Miami.
Another reason why I think Zachariah is going to be a good player. I mean, with a lot of chances because they're going to have to rely on somebody, and I think he's one of those guys there. We should touch on him.
I like him. I like him a good bit. The only thing I would worry about him is the same thing. Like I like Tez Johnson, but I'm a little afraid because of the difference in quarterbacks. We'll see how that works out.
Mm-hmm. Who was their quarterback this year? I can't remember.
USC?
Miller Moss.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Miller Moss.
who should be fine, but I mean, anybody
Mm-hmm.
after Caleb is going to be a little bit of a step down. So
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, when you got a guy like that, you got high expectations. So, I think he's still gonna be good. I think he's a solid guy, but not gonna be a Caleb. But I'm telling you, this guy is super fast. Zachariah Branch, really good route running. Like I said, when he does touch the ball, electric. So they're gonna really rely on him out there for sure. All right, number 3, right? Who you got?
I got your favorite guy, man. Omika Egbuka from Ohio State.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm going to production or projection a little bit because 2 years ago he was very good. Last year he was not as good, but this year he's going to be the number one guy, and there's no doubt about that. So I think his production will be there this year.
So this is my problem with him. And the reason why I said there's a guy that's not on my top 5 that it might be controversial, it would be him. And this is why like you said, right? They have a good year last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a young kid, Jeremiah Smith, who's coming in, and he is balling. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Amuka could definitely be Amike. Sorry, Amike could definitely be a really good player. I think that he have a lot of potential. Like Ohio State always have crazy receivers. The thing about that is they always have crazy receivers. So they have plenty of receivers. Got a new quarterback, and we talk about that as well. New quarterback as well over there playing for Ohio State. I want to see it first. I have him at my if I did a 5B, he will be my 5B. So he's in the top 5 for sure, or really 6. But I'm just worried about how he did last year. He didn't play that well. I'm worried about the kid Jeremiah Smith. I know they're gonna want to get him on the field some type of way. He's been balling, and this is me talking about Ohio State. That Jeremiah Smith kid looks. A lot of people are already saying that he might be better than Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm gonna pump the brakes on that. I didn't say it. You didn't hear from me. I didn't say it.
I mean,
some people said that already.
My number one concern is this. Amika was very good playing with CJ Stroud.
Yes.
But so was everybody else. Last year he didn't have Stroud and didn't play as well. But I still think there's talent there, and Ohio State usually gets good production, and he should be the number one receiver this year. We'll see how that works out.
We'll see. I'm telling you, right, Jeremiah Smith is going crazy, and I want to see some more of him. They don't typically have I know they have spring games, but they don't really have like summer training or anything like that, right? Right? Not really.
Nope. They'll have a spring game, which they probably already had, and that'll be it.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we'll definitely see how the season starts. I'm telling you, this Jeremiah Smith kid, listen out for his name, man, because he's going crazy for sure. As a freshman, so he might be a starter. A lot of people are liking him a lot. So we'll see. All right. What you on number 3, Ray? I got
number 2.
Trey. I got number 2. Wait, that was
I'm on 2.
Oh, I got my 3. Okay, so my number 3 is Trey Harris out of Ole Miss. Really good receiver out there, man. I really do like him a lot. I had 2 other guys above him, but again, like I said, I can always interchange them. I'm guessing Ray has him close, maybe. I don't know, but what's your thoughts on Trey, Ray?
I like Trey. I actually have him at number 6. If I was going to have a 5B, figured I'd take it easy on everybody this week, and try to be, So if I had a 5B, it would have been Trey Harris,
Definitely. 985 yards, 8 touchdowns. I think that the yardage would definitely be up this year for sure. Another reason why I have him this high as well because it's his quarterback, Jackson Dart. I have him really high last week when we was talking about him. I really think Jackson Dart's going to really ascend this year, and it's only going to benefit those wide receivers even more. So I'm looking for good things with Trey Harris right there, right?
Yeah, I'm a fan. I think he's a good wide receiver class. I just don't think there's Marvin Harrison in this draft. I don't think there's a Mike Neighbors in this class. But after that, I think there's some comparison with what we had last year. You know?
100%. 100%. All right, number 2, Ray.
I have Tateria McMillan, who you had at 4 or 5, I believe. I have him at 4.
I had him at 5.
I mean, I have him at 2, man. I mean, 6'5", 210, good route runner, solid speed. Production's there, 1,400 yards, 10 touchdowns, great red zone target. I'm a fan. I mean, if you need a possession guy right now, I think this kid can come in and play for you. I do worry about Arizona receivers because they don't always pan out well.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
that's the part.
Well, Brandon Ayuk went to Arizona, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true. That's very true. All right. My number 2 guy is a little bit of production. Projection based. But when he played on this team, played really well. And that would be Isaiah Bond. Now transferred to Texas. He used to be at Alabama. 668 yards last year, only 4 touchdowns. But I think that, with everybody, all the receivers that just left Texas, I think he's going to be that number 1 guy for Ewers. I think, again, a really good quarterback that's going to be playing with him, and you need your number 1 guy. I think he's going to be that number 1 guy for Ewers. He's going to get a lot of targets, and he's going to be looked at really well. 5'11", 182. So he's not like the biggest guy, but he's solidly built. He's fairly built. There you go. As a receiver, and I think he's from down here in Georgia, so I got a little bit more looks and coverage on him, so that might skew my opinion on him a little bit more. But I think he's a really good receiver, right? What's your thoughts on Bond?
I like Bond too. I think he's a good player. I think that Texas doesn't throw the ball all the time, so I don't know about his production this year. But I think he'll be good, and he does have a good quarterback, so we'll see.
Definitely. All right, Brad, let's get to your number 1. Who you got?
Luther Burden from Missouri, number 1. 86 receptions, 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns. I mean, he's a little bit of a yak guy. Was second in the league in all of college football in yak yards last year. A versatile kid who does nice things with the ball in his hands. He's 5'11", 210, so he's a solid kid. I went back and forth between him and McMillan 1, 2. I like Burden's body of work a little bit more. I think he's a more better all-around athlete than McMillan. So
definitely not. I think he's a good.
He reminds me of Deebo Samuel a lot. The way he catches the ball and just turns and gets upfield once he gets the ball. So
definitely no, I agree with that. Yeah, I think that's a good pick for you, Ray. All right, my let me see. Sorry, I'm just looking at something. All right, my number 1 receiver is I don't even have Luther Braun on my top 5, Ray. I have Ron Bellamy as number 1. No, I'm joking, Ray. It's Luther. We finally agree. No, Luther Burden, man. Like you said, really good receiver. 5'11", 200 pounds, got 1,200 yards last year, 9 touchdowns. I think he's clearly the number 1 receiver. I don't think there's a guess in that to me. When he played, he dominated. Especially when he played against Florida, 9 receptions, 159 yards. 58 yards. He went crazy. It's hard to cover this man. Like you said, he's like a breakout receiver ready to happen. You know what I mean? Like, you get the ball in his hand, you get nervous. You're like, oh, shoot. Like, is he going to take it to the house or is he going to take it for 30 yards? You know what I mean? Like, something's going to happen. So
he was top 4 in yards after contact. He does a little bit of everything well. He's a good, solid blocker out there.
Right.
I mean, he's going to be a nice player on the right team, at the next level.
100%. Yeah, and the thing I do like about this, him being on Missouri, is that he can definitely take advantage, because that team was very talented last year. Now we'll see, because they lost a lot of pieces to the draft last year, especially defensively. But that's definitely an up and coming program right now. from last year. They definitely surprised a lot of us. I hope they continue that. I was definitely rooting for them last year. So hopefully they're able to continue that. They got a good quarterback out there as well. The guy's name, um, Brady Cook, Brent Brady Cook, yeah, Brady Cook. So he's doing good things out there. I want to see how he keeps continuing playing, and he got Luther to help him as well. So all right, cool. So Ray, last week we did a little new segment with this, and we did a rising star. So I want to put a rising star in here for us. I actually have two that I want to mention, but I'm gonna let you start with your rising star, Ray.
Okay, I only have one, but it was Ricky White from UNLV.
Oh,
6'1", 190, 88 receptions last year, almost 1,500 yards and 8 touchdowns. I think that he is a really underrated team player on a really not a great team. UNLV is a team that likes to score points, but they don't play any defense. But he's very good on that team, and I think he's a guy that could wind up finding himself like an early second-round pick now.
100%. Yeah, I like him a lot too, Ray. So my two guys, I'm gonna mention. One of them I already mentioned already. I'm a Michigan fan, guys. I'm a Michigan fan. I'm a Michigan fan. But this guy has been tearing up the spring games right now. Coming in as a freshman, looking really really good. He was really unguardable when he was playing. And Ohio State has some good DBs. So I'm gonna say Jeremiah Smith is one of my guys. It sucks that he's a freshman because he's gonna be there for a while. It's just what Ohio State does. I just gotta get used to them having a lot of good receivers. So man, I hate how rich they always get with that, especially that position. But it is what it is. We'll see how this season goes. But Jeremiah Smith is one of my guys, and I got another guy. A lot of people probably don't know. I actually know his father down here in Georgia. Been watching this kid for a while. Honestly, he probably should have started as a freshman. Not gonna lie. But he's another kid that's tearing up the spring games. Unguardable, one hand catches, catching them behind, catching balls behind them and catching things like that. Ray, tell me if you know this name. Alexander Hilton.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I like him. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of them, but I've seen him play.
So I'm gonna say a little bit about Alexander Hilton. So first of all, plays at Wake Forest, plays a freshman year last year. Same thing. Went to spring camp, tore it up. Nobody was able to guard him. Really good route runner. His dad actually, Alexander Senior, he's actually a running back coach. I'm sorry, wide receiver trainer who trains big NFL players. He's a former NFL player himself. So this kid got some really good route running coaching from his dad, who a lot of people might know as Rock King. Shout out to Rock King, my guy Rock King. His son, man. And I'm not just saying this because I know him. I'm not just saying this because that's his kid. But I've been watching this kid since he was a sophomore in high school. And he was tearing up when he was in high school. The only thing everybody kept saying was that he's too small. He was like 5'6". I want to say maybe like a good 150, 160, thin kid, small. And I'm just like, I don't care about size. Like,
I mean, that was the one thing. I mean, where would you? He's going to play in the slot. You have to use him out of the backfield a little bit. That was my only concern. Where I know he has the speed and he's a tough kid for his size, but that would be a concern,
Yeah, and I'm gonna hold on. I'm going to see how.
I was just looking up to see because I knew he was small, but I don't see anything that tells me his height.
He's a lot bigger now though, right? And he going at in his body for sure. So he is. It says here 5'11", 165. I think he's a little bit bigger than that this year. I just recently see him probably 2-3 weeks ago in person. He got big, man. He got big, and I'm looking for him to really, show people who he is, become a big name this year, and really make a stand for himself. I think he's a really talented receiver. So I just wanted to put him out there as a rising star because Wayfair's got a really good receiver out there. I don't know who their quarterback is, but they got a dog right there in Deuce. So, all right, Ray. Any last words on that?
No, I think that it's a good solid wide receiver core. Group, but
yeah,
a lot of turnover in quarterback this year, man. That's my only concern.
That's true too.
You
That's true too. That's very true. All right, let's get to our top 5 tight ends. I think this is gonna be interesting because I was struggling on this a little bit, Ray. I really was. So I want to see what you got too, man.
my first guy, I have Bryson Nesbitt from North Carolina, a guy who's a good receiver, who's got the size, 6'5", 235, 240. He's a good, solid blocker. He doesn't block a whole lot, but he does catch the ball very nicely, especially in the slot. So I think he's a hybrid H-back, maybe a second tight end at the next level. But I'm a fan. And of course, Mac Jones being in North Carolina, they score a lot of points usually. They play good offense. And he's one of the guys that kind of helps out their offense there. So,
no, 100%. I agree with that. My number 5 guy, and you might have him higher, but a guy on a team that I watch a lot. I think he's going to do a lot of great stuff, and that's going to be Brent Cooley. I think it's like saying name from Utah. What's that? Is that how you say his name, right? Cooley?
It's Kuth.
There you go. Kuth.
I actually have him a little higher.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm really high on him. Hey, I had a couple of guys in here that I liked just a little bit more. But I think he has a lot of talent. He showed some of his talent when what's his name was there? Dalton Kincaid. So when they had both of them on the field, it was a good matchup. Now last year was a little down because obviously the quarterback position was kind of funky, but he was pretty productive with all that. So I think with a little bit more stability, Cam Rising should be coming back. I think that's going to be probably his number 1 target. I think right now, at least. So I think there's going to be a good right there. So Ray, I'm not going to let you talk about him right now because you said you got him a little bit higher. So let's get to your number 4.
I had Benjamin Urasek from Georgia. Again, I think a guy who played some last year, is a good blocker, is a good functional receiver. I think he's going to have a nice year. And of course, he has to take up some of the slack that Brock Bowers not being there is going to force him to do. So,
100%.
I like Georgia tight ends. They usually are good, solid. We say Brock Bowers wasn't a good blocker, and he wasn't, but he would at least get in the way. And I think this kid actually has a better shot at being, I don't want to say better than Brock Bowers, but a better all-around player than Brock Bowers, maybe.
Correct. No, I agree. Well, definitely still about that. I don't know about better than Brock Bowers, but I know what you meant. I know what you meant by all around, but
yeah, it's like Bowers goes to the Raiders. Now they drafted Michael Mayer last year, so how are they going to use them guys? Well, one guy's going to play in line a lot more, Meyer. Obviously, they're going to use this kid out of the slot a lot. I think Urosik would be the Michael Meyer of the two, even though I'm not saying he's Michael Meyer. I'm saying he's that type of a guy where he's a better blocker than the other guy was. So,
100%. Well, I actually don't have him in my top 5. And the reason why is that I think that Georgia is going to have a deep rotation or at least a deep competition at the tight end position. They just got a transfer. I forgot his name as well. So I think Georgia right now, as far as tight ends, I don't think they get set at number one guy yet. I think they're gonna kind of rotate the three tight ends in there. Now they do have a deep three guys, like one, two, three. But I think since they lost Bowers, they're gonna try to test out who's gonna be the number one. And even when they do get the number one, I think they're gonna kind of rotate them in, or if not rotate them in, they're gonna have 12 personnel and that kind of deal. So we're definitely gonna see how that goes and plays out. But I think that they're deep at that position and they want to play all three of those guys. So that's just my opinion on that. All right, let's get to my number 4. That's going to be Mason Taylor from LSU. I got him a little bit lower than most people, I think. And I already do like him. I got some guys that are a little bit higher, in my opinion, with a little bit more upside. But he's a very talented guy. Stat wise, I forgot what his stats are. Let me see. Mason Taylor. He's definitely gonna be a drafted guy, but he only had he only had one touchdown last year. As he was a sophomore, he has a potential. It's more potential based on him. So we'll definitely see. But I just want to see more. I know a lot of people have him a lot higher. I've seen a couple of lists that have him at number 2 and things like that. I just want to see a little bit more from him. So we'll definitely see. But talent's there. I know a lot of people was banking on that Wisconsin game where he had 7 receptions, 88 yards. So, but since then he didn't do much. I think he didn't play that much last year either, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, 1 touchdown as a freshman, 3 touchdowns last year. It's more potential. What's your thoughts on him, Dory?
I'm a big fan, actually, dude. I didn't want to put him in my top 5. I thought about it for a while because it's Jason Taylor's son, and I didn't want so I would be like, I'm a fan. So he's got lineage all over the place, dude. He's Zach Thomas's nephew. He's Jason Taylor's son, so he's going to be a player. I just want to see a little more from him before I would put him, in the top 5. But I'm a fan. I like him.
I agree.
He's a stud in high school, an absolute stud in high school. So I think he's got potential, but let's see where the potential takes him. That's all.
100%. 6'6", 255 pounds. So good size.
Zach Thomas is his Zach Thomas is his uncle. His dad's Jason Taylor. His mom is very athletic. So he's got the lineage all over the place,
100%. Yeah. So, yeah, man. We definitely see how that goes. Like you said, a lot of potential and everything like that. So let's get to your number 3, right? Who you got?
I had Brant Kuth from Utah. Again, I think he's a little bit of a hybrid mix type of a kid, but we saw how them guys are going to find a spot. There's only a handful of teams that would draft him, but he's athletic, man. He's quick. He runs good routes. He's a good solid functional blocker. The only thing he's only 6'2". He's a little short for a tight end, So
that's true. That's very true. Yeah. I get the height thing. So we'll definitely see.
And that's why, if you use him as a tight end per se or an H-back, you'd have to put him in motion. Don't let him pull. You don't want him to have to block the defensive end, dude. I mean, he's not going to be able to do that. Not right away.
100%. Yeah, definitely. All right, my number, what is it, 3? Yeah, my number 3 guy is a guy that you are very familiar with, Ray. A lot of high potential in him, I believe, and that's going to be Mitchell Evans, tight end for you guys. What's your thoughts on him? I'll let you talk first.
I'm a fan. I have him. I might as well just cut the chase. I have him 1 spot above you, but he was good for Notre Dame last year, and again, a guy who I'm expecting really nice things from this year with improved quarterback play, hopefully.
100%. Only 422 yards, 1 touchdown on there. So, like you said, but his average 14 yards per touch. He was on the field. He was really good. He got a lot of potential at 6'5", 260 pounds. So we'll definitely see how he does, man. Definitely see how he does. I want to see. Again, I got a couple of potential guys on here, so we'll definitely see. My next guy is, I think I'm going to say this right, Caden Prescorn. Is that right?
That's right.
I said it right?
That's right.
Hey, that's good. Caden Prescorn, receiver from for Ole Miss, I believe. Where did he transfer from? Did he transfer?
I think he may have transferred from somewhere, but for some reason it's not.
Yeah, Ole Miss. No, that's where
Memphis.
he's at now. I'm sorry, Memphis. There we go.
He went to
Memphis.
Memphis
Yes,
last year. Yeah.
yes. So he's at Memphis last year, transferred to Ole Miss. A guy, and again, a lot of this is another potential. He was very productive. He had some production last year, 30 receptions, 449 yards, 4 touchdowns. Your tight ends, you want to run 4 to 6 touchdowns, maybe a little bit more depending on how productive they are. So he did really well last year. He actually had 7 touchdowns in 2022, right? So, with better quarterback play, obviously, I think he's going to be doing well. When he had a good quarterback, he got 7 touchdowns. It went down a little bit last year. Now he's going to go in there with Daxon Darts. So I'm excited to see what he does. I think he's going to be a really good player. What's your thoughts on him?
No, I'm a fan. I have him in my top 10. I just have him out just outside my top 5. I mean, I'm a fan. I think he's a good player. He's he's athletic. He looks the part. We'll see how much of a blocker he really is. Ole Miss is a weird team. They do run the ball, so we'll see.
Yes, they do. 100%. 100%. Who's your? Did we say your number 2, Ray? Evan, right?
Well, I didn't, but I kind of let the cat out of the bag. It's actually Mitchell Evans from Notre Dame is my number 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I said I jumped the gun and said, yeah, Mitchell Evans. Mitchell Evans was very good for Notre Dame last year, and hopefully with Riley Leonard coming in and hopefully being a better than Sam Howell did last year. I mean, let me not remember Sam Hartman did last year for Notre Dame. So
that's crazy. You
hoping,
can't even remember his name.
Yeah, well, I wanted to forget his name after week 5, to be honest with you, but I couldn't. So, no, I think Riley Leonard is going to be better, and I think that the tight end is going to be a big part of their offense this year. I do.
100%, 100%. All right, last player, number 1. Ray, don't disappoint me. Who you got?
I have Colston Loveland from Michigan.
Yes, he's a beast. He's a beast.
He's my guy, man. Since last year, from the middle of the season on, man, he became one of the best all-around tight ends of college football. To be honest with you, dude. To me,
I agree. Yeah, I agree, Ray. Loveland really showed what he had last year, man. Played really well. A good safety net tight end for JJ. There's a reason why Harbaugh was like drooling over this guy, man. He's gonna go into his junior year this year. As a freshman, Harbaugh was trying his best to get him on the field as much as he can. He just had two other NFL tight ends ahead of him, but he's a beast, man, and he overtook what is the tight end that just got drafted this year? Man, I can't remember the Michigan tight end from this year, but never to say he took over his job, man, as a sophomore, and that's how good he was. If you guys, and I know most of you guys seen the national championship game, he made a huge catch against Washington. And it wasn't just a catch and then, okay, cool, he got 30 yards. No, he went up there, got it, and saved that drive on that play. It was a super athletic play. Caught the ball, high pointed it, caught it, tucked it down, got some extra yards afterwards. I think he's going to be a beast this year, man. Whoever's going to be the quarterback, I think it's most likely going to be Orgy, but for a group of quarterbacks that's going to be coming in, he is the perfect tight end for them to help develop these quarterbacks, and help them, get in the right path. So I'm excited to see what he does, man. And I think most people have him as the number 1 tight end right now.
I think so. I mean, like last year, him and Barner were like a good combo. And I think that, like, honestly, by mid-season, you just saw Loveland just making more plays, to be honest with you.
Correct. Yep.
You just did. You
Yep.
just started making more plays, and you saw it on a week-to-week basis. And McCartney just seemed like he was way comfortable throwing the ball to him. And when you run the ball the way Michigan does, having a good tight end is a big plus, man. So I think
Yeah.
I mean, I worry, like you said before, I think I worry a little bit about Michigan's offense this year, only because there's so much turnover, But we'll see what happens. Again, they're talented, so we'll see what happens.
100%. 100%. I'm excited. I can't wait to see how this goes, man. At first I was a little worried, like, oh man, like we lost so much. But at the same time, I think it's exciting, man, to see, us, try to compete again. I'm not gonna say that, right? You must be really hot.
That's really warm up here, man.
We're gonna try to get you out of here soon. We gotta try to get you out of here.
I'm used to it. It's fine.
Yeah, but we're gonna. I hope that I don't think we're gonna be as dominant as we are at all that next year. I'm not saying that, but
I don't know how you could be. I mean, honestly, Jerome, by the end of the season, you guys were beating up everybody.
Yeah,
I mean, that's really to do that again would be very difficult, man.
100%, very difficult. I am excited to see how it's kind of.
I mean, it's a new team. I mean, it is some of the same. I know the head coach is the coach from last year, but he did keep some of the other coaches, correct?
I think so. No. For the most part, he tried to keep as much as he can. A lot of guys left, like Ron Bellely. I mean, not what's the defensive coordinator name?
No, I remember, but I
forgot his name. Yeah. But they lost him. I think they lost him to Baltimore. I want to say they lost a couple of guys that Harbaugh took, and coaching staff is definitely a new one. I'm excited for the guys that do have in there, though. We'll see. They actually vultured the running back coach from Ohio State, actually. So that was a big thing from us. So we'll see how he does. But it's almost a whole new team. It really, really is. I think they're gonna play for Coach Moore, though. I think they really like him. The people that I know really knows. So we'll see how that goes. But I think there's still a lot of talented. There's a lot of talent on the team, especially on defense. So we'll see how that goes. But all right, let's get into our rising stars for the tight end. We're talking about Michigan a little too long, and I can make this a Michigan podcast if I wanted to. So we're not gonna do that. But
he was the number one tight end, so it is what it is, So
100%, yeah. And we will break down the teams going into the upcoming weeks as well. So definitely keep an eye out for that as well. But let's get into the rising stars. Ray, who you got as your rising star?
I have Harold Fannin from Bowling Green. Nice. Again, a little bit of a hybrid, 6'4", 230, 235. He only had, I think he had like 30 some receptions for like 400 and some yards last year. So he's a nice player. Again, who we'll see how he progresses this year.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know nothing about him, so that's pretty cool to hear a guy from Bowling Green that you got on your list, right? So that's really cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
All right, I got two guys. Again, my first guy is a guy that me and Ray was talking about off screen. I didn't want to say too much because I did have him in mind as a rising star. And Ray, there's a reason why Ray don't want to talk about him either. But Orderon Gaskin from was it Oregon? I mean, not Oregon.
Syracuse.
I'm thinking about the O for orange. Syracuse, yes. A tight end up there looked really good a couple of years for them. I think if you know Ray, I know why he thinks, because he's not really a blocker, which he's not. No. But as a receiving tight end, this guy's your guy. Good size. I'm trying to get to his size, but his dad did play for the Miami Dolphins. So Ray was like, I don't want to be biased with him. And understandably, why isn't my stuff loading right now?
I mean, last year he got hurt after week 2. But the year before that, man, he had over 1,000 yards. I mean, he was really because me and Jerome were talking, and I said I didn't. Plus, I think you fall like when you go to see a guy play live.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of like I watched him eat Notre Dame secondary live one day, and it's just like wow, like he's really good.
Yeah.
And like his old man, he has some mitts, man. His hands are like twice my size. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So he's
And
going
I'm
to
telling
be.
you,
Good.
he is fast.
He is for
He
as
is
big as he is,
fast.
which is different because his
He's
dad was a
fast.
possession guy who wasn't that fast. But yes, he has
Correct.
good speed. That's why, like,
He is fast.
I don't want to say he's just a tight end though. He could be a big possession type receiver, I think, on the right team. You know.
Yeah. No, I could see that. I could see that, especially how fast he is, man. But you did say he had over 1,000. He was at 969, so almost 1,000. But he did have 6 touchdowns 2 years ago, and like you said, last year only 67 yards for one touchdown, 7 receptions. Obviously, that was the injury. So obviously, we want to see him get back up there. But I think he is a rising star. Going into his senior year, I want to say that is. So we'll see. All right. And then my other guy is Malik Carr. Malik Carr is a guy that we got to talk to from inside the hatches some years ago. Started out at Michigan State. It didn't really work out for Michigan State, but when he did play, and then he did get his opportunities, he flashed to me, right? So I wanted to put him out there. He's going to be a senior this year, a redshirt senior. Last year, he had 3 touchdowns, 352 yards. Again, a guy that, he actually started off as a receiver in high school and then moved over to tight end, right? So he got the ability. I want to see him, do well. He just transferred to Houston. He's down there in Houston right now. So it's very interesting to see how he does, right? What you know about Malik Carr, right?
I like him. I worry about a guy who transfers from Michigan State to a smaller school, but it could be just for playing time. Right? I get it.
It's definitely playing time. It's definitely playing time. He got a lot of potential, right? And definitely want to see how he does. But we'll see how it goes. For sure.
Trying to see what his stats were last year. I'm having a hard time finding that.
Yeah, I just said it. Hold on. He only had 3 touchdowns and it was like 400 something yards. Yeah, 352 yards, 3 touchdowns, 30 receptions.
6'5", 260 though, so no good size,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, very good size, really good size. So, want to see how he does his final year at Houston.
I mean, let's face it. If you're want to go somewhere and prove your stock as a receiver, Houston's a good spot. They the ball plenty. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we'll definitely see, man. So, all right, that's gonna do it for us today, guys. Thank y'all so much for checking us out. Ray, you got a quick rant? You got a quick rant? Ray's rant?
Jerome. I'm just looking forward to the season getting started.
It's too slow, man.
I don't really. I know it seems like it's taking forever now, but I don't want to rant too much because I'll be honest with you, with all the free agency that's going on, and I don't want to start talking about the NFL because, they're destroying football, man. They really are. They're destroying it.
You talk NFL or NCAA?
I'm talking all of it, man. Money controls everything now. I mean, it's embarrassing, dude. It really is. I put a message out there. I was listening to a podcast now, and I know people think I'm like they tell me I'm old, and I am old. I'm the first one to admit it. But dude, I'll take my era of guys chasing rings over this era of guys chasing money any day of the week, dude.
100%. I agree with that, and I'm younger, so
any day of the week. I mean, it's been like I understand. You all want to make money and set up your families that way down generations. I get it. I do. What is the difference between 40 million and 50 million?
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you can't set up your family with $40 million a year, man, whew, wow. you're wow. It's just it's really bad, dude. Like I don't want to turn it into like Miami wants to re-sign Tua. Tua wants more money. Great. Okay, so now he's putting pressure on the team. Does he forget 2 years ago when people were right saying he sucked?
Yeah. I mean,
okay, all right.
Definitely. But what was I about to say?
Crazy thing is, Drum, I never thought he sucked, but I always thought there were the issues of certain things he's not great at. But right. I mean, like now you got to pay him $50 million. Wow. Yeah. I wouldn't. I would trade him.
100%. That's tough. It's tough.
I would trade him.
What was I gonna say? What's your real quick? I don't want to make this an NFL podcast, but what's your take on what's your take on Justin Jefferson's contract?
Good for Justin Jefferson. Now he's going to be on a mediocre team his whole career. Good for you. Great move, dude. You're never going to win a damn thing. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Be the highest paid loser of the whole of all time. Good for you, dude. Not to mention you got to compete with Randy Moss and Chris Carter legacy-wise.
Yeah.
So what are you there for? I mean, do me wrong. Hey, man, he's going to make $35 million a year, the highest non-quarterback player ever in the NFL. I'm glad for you. Welcome to mediocrity, dude. I mean, he better hope that J.J. McCarthy is a stud, dude. He better hope. That's all I'm going to say.
No, I agree. I agree with that, too. I agree with that. What else was I going to say?
Does he have a good coach in Kevin O'Connell? I do think he is a good coach.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I do, and I'm not saying he's not going to put up numbers. He is. He's going to put up numbers. So he's a great player. Yeah. He's not going to win anything, but he's going to put up numbers.
100%. Cool. All right, one last NFL question. So Justin Jefferson just got paid. Now we're still waiting for CeeDee Lamb, Deebo Samuels, Ayuk. I think those.
I think Samuels is paid. I think Samuels got paid.
Oh, Samuels did.
Brandon Ayuk is never getting paid by San Francisco. They might as well just trade him. It's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I think next year. I think it's next year.
They just done re-upping the running backs contract. They can't afford him to pay him too.
Yeah. And then I think Jamar Chase is due next year. So
Jamar Chase is going to get paid, and Jamar Chase is, and thanks to this guy, they're all going to probably make a little more than he does. That's my other thing. Like, okay, here's the thing: Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in football, right? Most people would say that. Okay.
Yeah.
Why does anybody get paid more than him?
That's very true. Very true. So,
I mean, if I were Lamb, he's smart. I would have waited too. You guys threw it a little bit. Your guy, Smith, dude. If he'd have waited a 2 weeks, 3 weeks, he probably would have got a lot more money.
No. And I'm glad he did what he did. For
the Eagles, dude, and that's again, Howie Roseman comes out smelling like a rose, dude.
Exactly.
Not his guy. Exactly.
Like, wait. Everybody's like, wait, y'all just signed Smith. Wait, and now y'all got AJ Brown. I'm just staying here to listen to it. I'm just like, they got
one of the best.
They got it down early.
Correct.
Ahead of all this crap.
Correct.
For real.
If they'd have waited 2-3 weeks, it would have cost them an extra $3 or $4 million a year, dude. Good for them.
Yep.
Good for them. I mean, I don't understand how people think about spending their money, dude. I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the NFL makes a ton of money and no one's losing any sleep for the money they're paying these players. I get that. The damn salary cap, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do we I'll be honest with you, Jerome, and I know people would debate this with bigger, stronger, faster, without a doubt. The league sucks. Hey, man, it sucks. All right, so we might as well just get used to Kansas City winning for the next 5 years, dude. The league sucks. They have the best quarterback in the league. They have one of the top 2 or 3 coaches in all football. Just get used to it, man. Second place. Good for everybody. So now these guys, Justin Jefferson, if CeeDee Lamb gets paid more, even with Tyreek Hill wants more money now, and we just got done paying Jalen Waddle, you guys are putting yourself exactly where Kansas City wants you, under their thumb, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You can't compete with them. You can't compete with them.
It's crazy. I agree. It's crazy.
You can't. Who's the next best team in the AFC to them? Buffalo? Baltimore? That's funny. That's hysterical. That is really funny.
Here you go.
Buffalo just got done redoing their whole receiver room after overpaying their receivers for 4 years. Kansas City keeps bringing in new guys. It doesn't matter. We think this guy, think that guy. We got Patrick Mahomes. We got Randy Reed. We're good. Keep paying them receivers, dude. Guys. Oh, Tyreek Hill wants more money. We'll ship him into Miami because we're not doing that. We're gonna win, baby. Love it. Good for everybody. Be ready to be Kansas City's doormat for the next 5 years. Good for you guys, man. Awesome.
You're funny, Ray. But that's gonna do it for us today, guys. We appreciate all y'all. We had to talk a little NFL, man. Missed the football, so we had to talk about it a little bit. Talk about the contracts and stuff like that.
Well, the thing about for us, here's the thing. The thing for us, Jerome, there's really nothing going on with college football right now. But every week, because of free agency, you hear something. You know what I mean?
100%. Nope. Yep. So we talk a little NFL here and there sometimes. We're connected with it because we talk about the draft as well, so that kind of helps us. But that's gonna do it for us today, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed this. Next week we'll be talking all offensive line, so it won't be two type of positions. We'll do all offensive line, so we do exterior, the tackles, interior.
The position where you should pay guys, by the way.
I agree. And the Eagles are doing good at that as well. So let's definitely see, man. We're definitely serious. So
don't get me wrong. Could the Eagles or San Francisco maybe make it to the Super Bowl and beat Kansas City? Of course, because they have strong teams too. Nobody in the AFC is going to beat them. Nobody. Forget about it. It's over. Over.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for us, guys. Again, thank you guys so much. We appreciate all our followers. Make sure you go like and subscribe to all our platforms. You're on Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. We're on there. You see the X handle right under me, inside hashes, or you go where Ray is, right in that corner right there, right under him, and hit that QR code. You can follow us all on there. That really does support us, especially on our YouTube channel. Make sure you go like and subscribe. That really does help and support us. So we do appreciate y'all. Also, again, thank you to our sponsors, Phenom, for sponsoring us, man. They have the latest and greatest NFL football gear that you get out there, man. So if you're a high school athlete or a college athlete or any kind of athlete, man, go get your gear. You see right here, we got 5-star Aaron Gregory on the board from Douglas County in Georgia, man. Got some great gear. As you see, you got different type of colors and everything. So it's not only football. They got soccer, they got basketball stuff, you got all that. So go on Phenom Elite Brand.com. You see in the top corner right over there, it says promo code. Make sure you go use that promo code for inside the hashes. That is ITH football. You get 10% off of all Phenom gear, and that will really help you save some cheddar. Because we're not all NFL players is getting these big contracts. So you gotta save some money, man. You gotta save some money. So make sure you go hit that promo code and get you some gear. So that's gonna do it for us today, guys. Thank y'all so much. Again, I'm Jerome Jones. This is Ray Roberts right over here. Until next time, we want to say peace. Peace. If I can find a button.